In this video, we will be discussing how to find the area and perimeter of compound shapes that include circles, semicircles, and quadrants, which are a quarter of a circle. Let's look at this first example. We have a rectangle added to a semicircle. Okay, we're trying to find first the area and then we'll find the perimeter. Okay, the area of this entire piece is going to be equal to the area of the rectangle plus the area of the semicircle. Area of a rectangle can be found using the formula base times height. An area of a semicircle, since it's half of a circle, we can take the formula for an area of a circle, which is pi r squared. But because it's only half of the circle, we have to divide this by 2. So we're going to add what we find for this and for that, combine them, and we get the area of the entire piece. To find the area of the rectangle, we look at the base. The base is 8. Now the height of the rectangle might be pretty tricky, so you have to understand the concept of circles, right? The base is 8. That means that this line is also 8. So the diameter of the circle is 8, right? If we think about the radius goes from the middle of the circle, which would be here, to any single point on the outside. The radius is always half of the diameter. So from the center up, or the center out, either way, or the center to the side, to this side, it's going to be 4, because the radius is half of the diameter. So the semicircle is only is 4 units tall, and if this whole thing is 7 and this is 4, that means that this piece is only 3 tall. So the height of the rectangle is going to be 3. Now over here, I have pi times radius squared divided by 2. We already discussed that the radius of this circle, since the diameter is 8, the radius is going to be 4. So that's 4 squared. 8 times 3 is going to be 24, and we're going to add this to pi times 16 divided by 2, which is 25.13. So that's going to be 49.13 units squared. To find the perimeter is a whole other different story. The perimeter is the distance around. So I'm looking at a couple different distances, or a couple different pieces, and I'll try and do those in separate colors just to clarify here. I need the distance of this outside of the rectangle, and I need the distance around this half of the circle. Okay, so perimeter equals all sides added, right? So I have, we already said that this piece was 3 units tall, so this piece is 3 units tall. So for the rectangle, I have 3 plus 8 plus 3. Probably can't see that because that marker died. So let's just switch colors here then. Sorry about that. This rectangle is going to be blue. 3 plus 8 plus 3. I also need to find the distance around that semicircle. That's found using the formula for circumference and dividing it by 2 because we only have half of a circle. So the formula for circumference is 2 times pi times the radius divided by 2. Well, we already found out what the radius of that circle was. We said that it's 4. So we can go ahead and plug that in. The radius is 4. So I have 2 times pi times 4 divided by 2. And that's going to be 12.56. So we have 3 plus 8 plus 3 plus 12.56. That's going to be equal to 26.56 units. Okay, let's take a look at this next problem. We have a rectangle and a semicircle. Okay, there's a cutoff line right about here. So we have a rectangle and a semicircle. Again, the first thing I'm looking at is how to find the area. Area for a rectangle plus area of the semicircle is going to give me that whole piece. So the area of the rectangle is easy. It's just going to be base times height. And we're adding it to the area of a semicircle, which again is a circle cut in half. So I need the formula for area, which is pi r squared. I'm cutting it in half because it's a semicircle. Right? So base times height is going to be 9 times 3. Because the base is 9, the height is 3. Then I need pi r squared over 2. I need to figure out what the radius of that semicircle is. Well, if I know the entire length is 9, and this piece is 5, that means that this piece is going to be 4. But that's the whole way across the semicircle. We only need half of that for the radius. So the radius equals 2. So that's going to be 2 squared. So if we simplify this, I'm going to have 27 plus pi times 4 divided by 2. Which is 6.28. Which is going to be 33.28 units squared